Have you ever tried to explain something to someone, but you just couldn't get the explanation to draw the picture so they could understand? They just couldn't get it? Well, I just heard a story this last weekend, which is the perfect way to explain to you what I have brought up many times about the invisible wound, or about childhood trauma that people dismiss and how people do that. And this story I heard this last Sunday starts with a question of, have you ever been driving your car and it starts making a weird noise? Well, what do you do when that happens? Well, a lot of times what people do when that happens is they ignore it. And that's, I heard this story this last weekend. This gentleman was telling this story about how he drives his 10-year-old car and it started making this weird noise. And he did what he always does. He ignored it. And so he figured, it's just going to go away on its own. And it didn't, because problems don't go away all by themselves. Why do we tend to think that? But we do. We do. So many of us do. I might even say all of us, but I don't know everyone. But I think that we do that. It'll just go away on its own. Why? Because we don't want to deal with it. Maybe we don't know how to deal with it, or we think it's going to cost too much to deal with it, or we don't have the time to deal with it, or it's going to be too hard to deal with it, or whatever the case is with whatever it happens to be. But in the story of this gentleman's car, he finally, when it wasn't going away, he finally said, I got to look under the hood. He doesn't want to look under the hood because he doesn't know how to fix a car. So when he opens the hood, he's like, okay, it's the inside of a car. Great. Well, that's how we feel about looking inside ourselves too. I don't know what's going on in there. Well, that's why we need help. And he needed to take his car in to have someone, look at it. And he had done that before, actually. And so he remembered that. What the guy had told him is, you have an old car, it's going to start burning oil. So you need to pay attention to that. And he didn't pay attention to that, which is something that we do emotionally too. We don't pay attention to our own selves. We don't pay attention to our well-being, our health, physical health, emotional health. We do what this guy did with his car with ourselves so much. It's the perfect picture. But finally, he checked the oil in the car because he remembered what, the specialist said about it. And it came out dry. And he's like, no, that can't be true. So he wipes it all off and he checks the oil again and it came out dry. It's not good for a car to drive without any oil. That destroys the engine. And so he went and he got oil and he put oil in there, hoping, praying that would take care of the problem. And thank God he said it did. He did it quick enough before he destroyed his car. And this is the picture I want to bring up, that this is what we do with ourselves emotionally when we won't deal with something. We have a strange noise, like in the car. We got real upset about something and we don't know why we got so upset about that. We shouldn't have got so upset about that. Why did I get that upset about that little thing? Or another thing is when certain things happen, you go and you have a drink or eat a box of donuts instead of dealing with it. Or so many other things. People have suicidal thoughts and just blow it off as nothing. People have anger issues and they blow up and it's like, well, that's just me. Or they can't even trust their best friend. They have a trouble trusting their best friend. Well, there's reasons for that. Just like this guy's car needed oil. When we have emotional issues in our life, there's a reason, and we need to take courage and address it. We need to check the oil, so to speak. We need to see what is the cause of this issue. And many times it's childhood trauma or childhood emotional neglect that's the root of it. And sometimes if you deal with it quickly enough, you can get it taken care of, just like this guy put some oil in his car and you can be good to go. I need to do this. It came from there and that's what I do. And that's what I am here to do, is to help you do that. I can help you find what it is that's causing these things through coaching you. And through, if you want to do it in your own time by yourself, I have my book, Emerging with Wings, which is a good way to do it all by yourself in the privacy of your own home so nobody knows, because shame is a part of dealing with this also. And there is no valid shame there, but there is shame we have to deal with. Just because shame is there doesn't mean it has the right to be there. There is no shame that we deserve, because children do not earn their trauma. It's not their fault. Someone did something, and there's a reason for this, and you deserve to be whole. You deserve to be healed. And so I would like to help you. I have coaching. I have a new course, Heal Your Childhood Self, with a free intro to it called See for Free. I have coaching that we can do a little intake call to see if, we gel well together, because it's important for you to get coached, or if you need counseling, that you have you're working with the right person who will be able to really help you. And I'm that lady on the internet who loves you, Danielle Bernack, and I want you to get what you need. More than I'm trying to sell you anything. I have things to offer because what I have to offer is valuable. So I charge for my services, yes. Well, counselors charge for their services, and auto mechanics charge for theirs too. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want you to get what you need. So what do you need, and how can I help you today? Danielle Bernack, that lady on the internet who loves you. Love yourself from survive to thrive. Don't live in survival because you just let that noise in your car keep going. I love you, and I'll see you again soon.